Malolele, talofa, kia orana, kia ora, pula, whakalofa atu. Welcome to Nesian 4020 FM, nah jokes. Welcome to Nesian 4020. This is episode 5. Again, presented to you in a radio format. But look, I hope you guys are well. Hope all is good. Again, if you haven't seen my other videos, please go and do so. Subscribe if you're new. But look, this is a weekly Nesian video where I look at all things Polynesian rugby league and sort of talk about it anyway in general. So we're going to check the contents for today and then go from there. So for the first one we have is I'm going to be looking at the Pacific NRL team of the week, then the Origin team previews, and then sort of like the Nesian player of the week, and that'll be Adam Blair, and then discussion points as well. So we're going to be talking about the New Zealand versus Tonga game over the weekend, rugby union, and how that scoreline may have actually helped Tongan rugby league, and I guess rugby league as a whole in the Pacific nations, as well as my thoughts on an international rugby league, sort of yearly fixture regarding Pacific nations, and how that's important. And last but not least, the discussion regarding Mulitalo and his eligibility and what it means if he does actually, and what it means if he's able to play for Queensland. Alright, so without further ado, let's get into it. So for round 16, so a very, up and down sort of a game. Depends on who you supported. Obviously, if you're a Doggies fan, well, this probably isn't the round for you. And if you're a Warriors fan, heartbreak. And I guess if you're a Storm fan, business as usual. And if you're a Raiders fan, well, something went wrong. Very, very wrong. But as I look at the Nesian teams of the week, there will be 2 positions not filled, only because I didn't feel like there was enough done from the players who played there to warrant a selection. So that would be the wing position from number 2, as well as the 5'8" position. Fullback was Kalen Ponga with 2 tries, 212 run meters, as well as 37 post contact meters and 4 tackle breaks. He played a very, very good game in his, comeback game from injury, and obviously has warranted an Origin selection. I also had Desi New as well. Again, it was very tough to choose between those 2, but I think Ponga wins just because of just what he's created, and obviously the Newcastle Knights absolutely belted the Cowboys. So for the centre position, it was good to see Kotoni Staggs coming back as well after a long spell with his ACL injury. He had 1 try assist, 117 run meters, 29 post contact meters, as well as 4 tackle breaks, and that was his welcome back as well to our rugby league, the NRL. And it was actually good to see him. He definitely added a lot of flavour to that Broncos attack on the right edge, and will be one to look out for, I think, in the coming few weeks. The other centre pairing was Patrick Herbert with 1 try, 122 meters, plus 34 post contact meters and 13 tackle breaks. Patrick Herbert had a field day out there against Canberra, who only managed to score 1 try, the Raiders, and obviously the Titans absolutely piled on a lot of points there, and Patrick Herbert was definitely one of the instigators there, so well done to him. And on the wing, I have Brian To'o with 281 run meters, plus 95 post contact meters, 7 tackle breaks, and 4 tackles with no misses. Brian To'o, what can he not do? He's a running powerhouse. He is the dude who can dance. He's the dude who can run over you. He's the dude who can literally carry you, and he's the dude who can just make you feel in awe of what he can do. So Brian To'o again features on the Nesian team of the week, so well done. So the halfback is Jerome Hughes, who had a bit of a quiet game. However, he did enough to scrape by. 1 try assist, 93 meters, and 4 tackle breaks, and a very strong showing against the Roosters. And noted, the Roosters did not score any points that game. For the props, I have Adam Blake with 192 run meters, 83 post contact meters, 3 tackle breaks, as well as 38 tackles and no misses. Adam Blake did very well in the latter part of the second half, sort of going back to his old form pre-injury, and it was good to see, even though the Warriors lost that game. Payne Haas, 219 run meters, 110 post contact meters, 39 tackles plus 0 misses, as well as 2 tackle breaks. Payne Haas, to me, I'll be upfront. I think he's the strongest forward in the game. Or if he's not, he's definitely in the top 3. Man, the dude's just a unit. Barely shows any emotion. But yet when he runs, he's just a unit. Just an absolute juggernaut to tackle him. He'll be making his 3rd appearance this year for State of Origin for the New South Wales Blues. And for the hooking position, I've put down Koroi Sau. Api Koroi Sau had 1 try, 2 tackle breaks, 62 tackles and 3 misses. Again, in a very tight contest against the Eels. He did very well there, and will actually make his debut in State of Origin, coming in at number 14 as well. So well done, Api Koroi Sau. Those are very good numbers too, by the way. 62 tackles, 3 misses, workhorse type stuff. So in the second rows, this was very tight. There was a lot of Nesian players who actually put their hands up here. So it was actually a very tough sort of contest, and to be fair, I actually put 2 players in here who played in the same number. So again, that is how tight it was. So I had Eliasa Katoa and Isaiah Papali'i. So Katoa had 1 try, 133 meters and 57 post-contact meters, 5 tackle breaks and 0 errors. And a very good showing. Unfortunately, carried off at the end with an injury, so hopefully he can come back fit and healthy in a few weeks' time. And then you have Isaiah Papali'i with 1 try, 165 meters, plus 47 post-contact meters, 10 tackle breaks and 0 errors. Papali'i is one of the buys of the year, I reckon. In terms of most improved, he's got to be up there, right? He's in the top 2 at least. Has changed his game around, has added such a strong addition to the Eels forward pack, and has turned in such a versatile player. Very fit, very strong too, and it's good to see him shining there. And then for the lock position, I have the ever-present Jason Taumalolo. In a losing side, however, he had 121 run meters, 55 post-contact meters, 3 tackle breaks, and 33 tackles plus 0 misses. And again, Jason Taumalolo showing that even though in a losing side where they scored unfortunately no tries, no points, he can still get the job done. Again, well done to all selected. And as noted, the 2 positions missed was the number 2 and the number 6. But that is the Nesian team of the week. Tell me what you think. Were there some players who were hard done by? Do you agree? But yeah, let me know. As we all know, State of Origin is around the corner. So in 2 weeks' time on a Wednesday night, they'll be playing, and I believe it will be in New South Wales this time, in Newcastle. We'll have to wait and see what actually happens there, but I think that's the rumours. So for New South Wales, in regards to the Nesian players selected, To'o, Paulo, Sims, Koroi Sau, and Haas. Now it's just been noted that Daniel Saifiti, due to a rib injury, will no longer be picked or selected, which is unfortunate. However, it means that Payne Haas will be elevated to starting prop, and look, he's the guy for the job, isn't he? So it's going to be good to see Payne Haas got there and as a starter this time. For Queensland, we have Ponga, Holmes, Gagai, Tabuai Fido, who makes his debut, Coates, Papali, Kaufusi, Fa'asua Maleaui, Fotuaika, Fifita, and Francis Molo, who I believe is the 18th man. Again, just note that David Fifita is currently has been charged by the NRL, so it's a 50-50 as to whether he's in the squad or not. Obviously, having Fifita will be a good addition to the Queensland team, but that'll all depend. So yeah, those are the teams there from the Nesian perspective. Just a quick note, if you want to see my Origin review, please check out my upcoming video as well. But yeah, look, this is going to be a very good game. It's the 3rd game. We're going to see what happens. So now we've come to the Nesian player to discuss, and that is Adam Blair. So many of you guys know who Adam Blair is. He's played such a pivotal role in the development of rugby league in New Zealand and for the Maori people, and I guess, for Pacifica as a whole. So again, it's good to see him there, and he's a good player to talk about. There's definitely a lot to mention here. So Adam Blair was born on the 20th of March in 1986, which makes him 35 years old, and he was born in Whangarei, New Zealand. He currently stands at 109 kgs and 188 centimeters. His career from the Storm from 2006 to 2011 was 123 games, and then he played for the Tigers from 2012 to 2014. he played 71 games. And then from the Broncos, from 2015 to 17, he played 76 games. And then from the Warriors, from 2018 to 2020, he played 65 games, which means he played a total of 335 NRL games. And another thing you'll note as well with Adam Blair is even though he's journeyed a few teams, he still played a good chunk of games for them. You know how some players unfortunately go from one team to the other and then they sort of just wither off, unfortunately, just due to the way it goes. Adam Blair still featured heavily in those teams. It was actually good to see him come back to New Zealand and actually play for the Warriors. And so his rep career stands from 2006 to 2019. He played 51 games for the New Zealand Kiwis. 2010, he played one game for the NRL All-Stars. And then from 2019 to 2020, he played 2 games for the New Zealand Māori. In total, he's had 54 reps. And I'm pretty sure, not that I'm saying I speak for him, but playing for the Kiwis as well as the New Zealand Māori would obviously be key highlights for him and what he's done and contributed to the game of rugby league in Aotearoa. So after league, he is still actually he's actually a presenter in New Zealand, part of the Sky Sports team, as well as Warriors TV. He still talks about the Warriors Rugby League as well, which is good to see. He's got a good friendly smile on him and a genuine media figure to watch, and can't wait to see how he goes there and grows, and hopefully one day Adam Blair can be part of a push to have an actual, sort of Kiwi NRL 360, if you get what I mean, over there on a regular basis, because I think he'll be definitely a key integral part, because I think for myself personally, he's actually got a very analytical approach to the game, that when he thinks, he actually has some very interesting points to talk about, so it's actually very encouraging to see more of that, so hopefully that continues. And again, just some thoughts on him. Good-hearted Kiwi, you know what I mean? What he's done for the game. I mean, hey, look, overall you can question. There's been probably some questionable sort of plays from him, but I mean, hey, who hasn't had anything questionable? Adam Blair as well has been just an absolute joy to watch. Up and down, sure, but I mean, hey, that is the way it goes. And obviously we can't forget that 2011, what I've quoted, brawl for all against Manly, right? Where I think most of the team and the crowd got involved. And again, Adam Blair just showing that he's hearty as, and he's not going to back down. And I hope he continues to do well for the rugby league scene in New Zealand. And I hope that he and Gus Gould could potentially team up, but I will see what happens there. That has been my Nesian player discussion of the week. And yeah, who should I do next time? Suggestions? But yeah, that is my thoughts. Now we come to the discussion part, and I've got 3 points there. First, I'm going to touch on the first one. I think it's really important that Pacific Island Rugby League plays regularly every year. I understand that the NRL obviously is a long season, but in saying that, however, it's so integral for the Pacific nations to play on a regular basis. So my concept is, if you have, for example, say Tonga, Samoa, Fiji, Papua New Guinea, and then for argument's sake, you have, Cook Islands, or you can even add the New Zealand Māori, whatever. Add them in, then you get them to play each other, once a week over the period of, say, 6 to 7 weeks, and then the winner who tops that table is the winner, but something like that. And again, that may mean sacrifices for the NRL, right, in terms of fixture length, but I mean, look, everyone likes watching the NRL and the Origin, but in regards to what people really want, I think the definite general weight being pulled is to the international scene, and especially more so now than ever before. The reality is that people are going to see what's happening and will want more international league, so hopefully that will be the case. It'll be good to see. The second point of discussion is the All Blacks, who beat Ikaretahi 102 points to 0. Now, if you're a Tongan rugby union fan and you look at that and you look at everything else that's happened, you're probably thinking, nah, I'm done. And you know what? Rightly so. Now, let me convince you why. Actually, let me convince you why you should be a rugby league fan. Full stop. So yeah, look, rugby league in Tonga obviously is growing. Mate Mai Tonga, or the Tongan Invitational, depending on where you want to look at it, who are actually doing very well at the moment. They haven't played since 2019, however, I digress. If you look at them from that standpoint, there's been a lot of efforts to bring the community together. They've even got the king and queen involved. Whereas the rugby union team, again, this is not a union versus rugby league and trying to diminish one code. No, it's more so just looking at what's happened. Tongan rugby at the moment is going through a very tough stage, and to be fair, if you're a fan, they're rocking up to Mount Smart and on a cold Saturday night just to watch Tonga get belted like that, what do you think? I mean, obviously you can stand there and you still be proud, sure, that's great. But in terms of the development, there's been nothing done. That doesn't do anything for Tongan rugby. But for rugby league in Tonga, may have won over some fans. So again, as Tonga continues to push, hopefully that is the case. Hopefully we see more. But will it sway some opinions? I think so. And I guess for rugby league, it's probably a win. But in saying that, that's why the importance of rugby league international games is a priority. The last talking point as well, before I wrap this up, is Mulitalo. Basically, as we all know, he has been denied access to Queensland because of his birth in New Zealand and coming later. I am going to assume that Mulitalo and Queensland are going to try everything they can to make him play. But if that is the case, it's going to open up a can of worms. Now, let me explain. Obviously, we've got other Nesian players who were born in New Zealand. I think it's about 26% of NRL players actually born in New Zealand. What does that mean? For example, Taumalolo was saying he wants to play for Queensland. You've got your Taukeaho. You've got your Leota for the Penrith Panthers, and for the Queensland team, say again, you've got your Mulitalo, right? And you've got these different players from different places who want to just play for the state. Now, what does that mean? I guess if Mulitalo is eligible, then you're going to have to let other players play, which means that if you're born in New Zealand, you're going to be eligible to play. Will it be a good thing? I think so. For rugby league in New Zealand, it'll be a good thing as well. But obviously, again, it could be quite controversial, so that depends on where you stand there. However, as I said before, I think it'll be a good thing for the game if they were able to play. Again, Origin needs to understand society as a whole. It is expanding. It is very multicultural, and just because you're, say, for example, born in New South Wales, born and raised there, doesn't mean you're not going to represent, say, for example, Cook Islands or Samoa. And we're seeing that clearly with To'o, who looks to be donning that Samoan jersey. But in saying that, Meninga and his whispering ways might be luring Luai, but I will see how that goes. But you get what I mean. Again, that's probably another topic to discuss as well, but I won't do it today. But yeah, that's my overall thoughts on it. I think it'll be a good thing for the game. Again, unfortunate, but this may be the crack in the dam, so to speak. So we'll see what happens there. But look, guys, that has been the Nesian 4020 episode for this week. Again, if you have any suggestions, if you have any thoughts, please let me know. But I'm going to continue to do this next week. And what are your thoughts around some of the topics discussed, or the team of the week, or the player of the week? Who do you want me to talk about next? But in saying that, thanks again, and good luck with your teams that are playing, New South Wales, Queensland, or even the NRL, even though it's a bye round this week with only 8 teams playing. But in saying that, look, this has been another episode of Nesian 4020. Thanks, guys, for watching, and just remember, hold the ball. See you guys next time.